Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Sasha and I normally do videos with my daughter Arella, who is 19 months old. In today's video we will be talking about pregnancy and some uncommon symptoms that ladies might be going through and that people don't really talk about, things that you don't really find on the internet, and just some little tips so that you're kind of prepared for this journey. Starting with the basics, we all know that the first most common sign that tells us that we're pregnant is that we end up missing our period, and this is the most common for females just because we're keeping up with our schedule and then we end up missing that one period, and we know that it's late, we know that it's not there, and that's kind of the first sign that tells us like, okay, something's a bit off. But yeah, the most uncommon symptoms that no one really talks about is that breast pain that you get before you even take that test or start missing your period. Your boobs will start to hurt, and that's just the first sign that kind of tells you like, okay, there's something different going on with your body. It's kind of starting to get the hormones to make your milk, and I know it's really early, but it does start, and you just start feeling very tender and sore. If you're taking a shower and you feel like, okay, the hot water is kind of hurting or the pressure of the water is hurting, that might be a sign. Another sign that we get is the aversion to a lot of foods that we normally enjoy eating and just start feeling completely turned off to. I loved eating eggs before, and after getting pregnant I just was so turned off by them. Like the thought of eggs, no matter if they were boiled or scrambled, I just did not want to eat them. They were so gross to me, like ew. Third thing that you get is feeling extremely tired. You lose that energy that you normally have. You just want to sleep all the time. You're feeling really nauseous if you're experiencing that, so laying down kind of like settles your stomach. Certain foods that you don't want to eat, so you take a nap instead because you're hungry but you don't have the appetite, or when you eat something you end up throwing up, so your energy levels are just not there. Another symptom that you get during pregnancy that no one talks about is that leg pain that you get. So when your baby starts growing, and if they're like kind of sitting on your sciatica nerve or like kind of on your hip, it creates such a bad pain. It doesn't really go away until the baby shifts or like moves positions or kind of flips over. Towards the end of my pregnancy, my daughter was sitting on my right side on the hip, and that killed me. Like it hurt so badly, and it didn't go away up until she dropped, and thankfully like she was lower, so I was okay with the bladder problems, sure, no problem. But that hip pain, like it was so unbearable, and I was trying not to take any over-the-counter medications like Tylenol or anything like that, so that was just something that I struggled with, the pain that really hurts. And then you get the back pain as well. That's another common one, but you do get your back pain. And like I said with the previous point, another symptom that you get is using the washroom so frequently. I am so thankful to have the washroom right beside my room. I was using the washroom every 10 minutes when I was pregnant. I honestly just really could not control my bladder, and the weight of the baby just sitting there created like that pressure there that really makes you want to pee all the time. So peeing, and then another thing that people don't talk about is the diarrhea that you get. Diarrhea is so common with pregnancy. Everything is so confused over here that your bowels are like not working the same, and using the washroom becomes harder. Either you're constipated or you're dealing with diarrhea, or I don't know if you guys have gone through constipated diarrhea where you literally can't poop, and then when you do it's like so that is another symptom that people do not talk about that is common using the washroom. That dizzy feeling that you get. So sometimes if you're like really hungry and you smell food and you're like just so hungry that like you could drop down, you start getting really dizzy. One day I was in the lineup for Tim Hortons, and I was waiting to take my order, and I was like the next person there about to order, and I started feeling so dizzy. Everything went blurry and red, and just I couldn't see anything. I was really hungry, and the smell of the food everywhere just honestly made me super dizzy. And yeah, I had to leave the Tim Hortons. I couldn't see my phone at all. Like the things on my screen, I could not see them. I had to walk outside, get the fresh air. Thankfully it was winter, so it was cold. I got that cold, crisp air. And my friend seen me like struggling to walk out there, and they came right away and they put me in the car, and I got this super cold sweat. It just became so like scary to me that I made sure I ate on time all the time. After that, I never let myself get hungry or to that point where I felt like I would literally drop down from being like hungry and smelling food. So that dizzy feeling was something I dealt with. Skin problems, so I dealt with this right before I got pregnant. I started breaking out like crazy. Hormones, they definitely make you break out like crazy, and no one really talks about that. Sometimes it can cause your skin to go glowy, beautiful, like your hair goes really nice, or you get the opposite and you break out like crazy. So just know it can go one of two ways. It's not always like super fantastic. The hair growth, like, yeah, it's amazing because your hair looks awesome. For myself, like, I was experiencing hair growth like much faster than I normally do, and I am brown, so I already have enough hair. I'm okay with the hair that I have. Another symptom that no one told me about that I wasn't prepared for was the uncomfortable feeling that you get sometimes when your baby's kicking. Like, you literally cannot sleep. They're moving so much. I tried to like turn to the other side to get her to move over, like to move on the left side so I could sleep over there, and it just didn't work out. Like, sometimes it would be so uncomfortable that you cannot sleep. She loved sweet potato when I was pregnant. I would eat a sweet potato and she would start going crazy. Like, certain foods that I ate, she would start kicking like crazy, and it just kind of hurt sometimes. Like, love seeing her move, and it felt amazing. And after she came out, like, I miss that feeling, but it does hurt, and no one tells you that. Sometimes they kick you so hard in your ribs and like, ow, why are you doing that? I'm just trying to keep you safe in here. Another thing that people don't talk about is your hormones are so crazy that literally, like, you can be super mad one moment, crying the next. I couldn't get my fitted bed sheets on the bed properly. That would make me cry like crazy. That got to me so bad. Another thing that people don't really talk about is your nesting feeling. Like, you just feel like you need to get so much done. Things kind of like start piling up. Like, okay, I want to get their crib, I want to get the clothes, I have to get everything cleaned up and make sure I'm reading all the books and then exercising on time. Very, very important for you to take that time to put yourself first and take care of yourself and actually organize your time and schedule things to like get done properly. And starting early is the best thing that I can suggest to anyone having a baby, because I had my daughter early and her nursery was not set up when we came home. When she came back home, she was sitting in her car seat and I had to set her crib up and go buy the rocking chair that night. Yeah, just getting things done earlier will relieve that stress completely and make things so much easier for that transition to when you come home. Because like, I understand that you grew with the baby and you have them, but it's just so new to so many people. Even for moms that already have a baby, dealing with a new baby can be completely stressful, or learning how to balance your new baby with your toddler or trying to give your partner affection. There's just a lot more that you're dealing with. Having that home environment set up and already ready to go would be just the perfect thing to do. Have everything set and ready. I read about having meals ready before having your baby, so I think that's an excellent idea, because I myself am a single mom. So if it weren't for my family helping me to make meals and stuff like that, I definitely would be struggling. So making meals before and freezing them and having them ready to go, or just meal plans that are super simple and easy to work with, would be a very good idea. 10-minute meal ideas that will get done really quick so you can feed yourself. And especially if you're breastfeeding, you need to have your body fed so that you can feed your baby and have all the nutrients and still feel really energized, because they're taking all of that out from you. That's just one tip that I have. I know that wasn't a symptom, but just for moms watching this, because I assume that if you're this far into the video, you are a mom or experienced this, or just learning, trying to get some insight on what to expect when you're having a baby. Hopefully that helps you. That brings us to the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching some uncommon pregnancy symptoms that I went through, and that a lot of other moms that I know went through, and that people don't really talk about. Just so people watching this, if you're about to have a baby, or if you kind of already went through this and you thought like, why didn't anyone talk about this? Like, here I am talking about it. Like, these are things that women go through and it's not really popular to say on the internet or things that you hear about, but I just want to shed light on this topic, and I really hope you guys find today's information useful and it might help some of you. I definitely didn't mean to scare anybody, because this is just uncommon symptoms that I went through, and I totally want you guys to be prepared for this and just not feel like you're alone or feel like you're weird or going through anything out of the ordinary, because it's totally normal. I went through a lot of these. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please check out our other videos. I do a lot of mommy-daughter content, a lot of content directed towards mommy's like advice, routines. I like dropping some recipes here and there. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.